Welcome back to the channel. I finally found a DRV mobile suites. This is one of the best luxury fifth wheels on the market, and it does compete with the Lux brand too, so it's something that you definitely want to put on your list if you are in the market. I am here at Happy Camper. You can see the sign right there. They are in Caldwell, Idaho, and they are a really nice bunch. I gotta introduce you to the guys here, but let's go ahead and walk through the fifth wheel really quickly. Now up front, you do have a really stylish cap. I love the D in the center. You have LED strips on both sides. And this is gonna be a gel coat paint too, so this is gonna last the test of time. And you probably can't tell from the camera, but this is not a decal too, so this is all painted on. So that's gonna last a lot longer, especially when you go to clean this after every trip. As you brush it, of course, it's gonna really eat at those decals. You don't have to worry about that. And right here, this has like a really hard protection for the bottom here, because rock chips are going to come up from that dually, and it's going to really affect that. And they really did a good job protecting the side of the fifth wheel. Down below, you do have a MORryde fifth wheel pin box, and this is going to be an upgrade on other RVs, but they make it standard for this one. I will go over the weights of this rig too, and I will give you my recommendations on what truck you should have for something like this as well. Now below the front cap, check out how thick the doors are right here. These are like probably 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. I don't know. They're pretty thick. I should have brought my tape measure, but I did not. And I love the latches that they use. These latches are gonna stand the test of time, and you don't have to worry about them coming undone. They do provide 2 batteries. You do have an inverter, most likely for a residential refrigerator, or it may have solar as well. And you do have your hydraulic system on this side. And I did notice too that they do have a P-trap here, most likely for the bathroom, so it's easy to get to this as well if you need to get something out of there. Now this looks to be a place where you would put a generator at, but they did not option this one with that. But it looks like it's pretty much prepped because of the material they're using in here. But you could use this as storage, and it's pretty tall too, so you can put some bins in here, which would be really helpful too. But I really like how thick these doors are. Now that material is down here too. Like I said, if you get rocks coming at this fifth wheel, this material is going to really stand the test of time. But overall, I really like the paint scheme on this one. They've always done a good job in the past. They provide a light right here and above the entry door. This looks to be dual pane glass, and you do have one slide up front. Now let's take a look inside of your basement door here. Now one thing I like about the storage area is how tall it is, and they do give you a solid floor surface, so it will be easy to clean this out if you are packing up after a rainy day and things are muddy. It's easy to vacuum or wipe this place out. And like I said, you just have so much area space in here to put just about anything. You could stack things in here really easily. They do provide lights on both sides. And check this out. You do have your heater for the RV right here. It's easy to get to, and check this out. There is one of your tanks right here. This looks to be a black tank. I can see a black tank flush right there actually. But this will be protected in the winter time, so you don't have to worry about this freezing over. They do provide a power plug on the outside. And this looks to be like a small wardrobe. We'll see that inside. But you do have the MORryde step above system. It's really wide too. Sometimes I've seen them on RVs where they're really narrow, and they could be dangerous to get in and out of. 6-point auto leveling system, hydraulic as you guys saw. And then check this out. Not only are these 17.5-inch wheels, but they give you a Goodyear tire. And let's take a look at the specs on them. So this is going to be a 215 75 17.5, load range H, and this is going to have a 4,805 capacity per tire. That is crazy, almost 5,000 pounds. And if that's not enough, they also provide disc brakes on both axles. That too will help with, really control going down the road. I mean, and just check out this frame too. I just noticed it down here. Look how tall it is. So this is going to have probably one of the best riding, setups here. And let's talk about suspension real quickly. The suspension on this fifth wheel is going to be a MORRIDE IS, and it's fully independent. So not only do you have disc brakes and some of the best tires, you have one heck of a suspension system on this too. And I think I see like a shock absorber as well. So that's going to really help with stability going down the road. Now, as you guys can see, this does have a BAL hide spare, and that's going to be really helpful if you do get a flat tire, unfortunately. Now, this is a big slide, and whenever I see slides this size, I always like to see rack and pinion. And as you can see, this is a rack and pinion slide, and I like that they hide the mechanism too. That way it's protected from the elements. It's a really good design. And then you do have an awning right here, and you also have one on the front. These are really big awnings. And let's keep moving back. As I mentioned too, these are all painted on too. None of this is decals. This looks to be the back of your refrigerator. So this is going to be a residential refrigerator. So this is just to help work on it if you need to. And then the power plug's right there. And they also have a small storage right down here. And this does have a hitch out back that you can also tow a small trailer with. I think it should have the specs on here. 3,000 pounds, 300-pound tongue weight. And then here's a power plug for that. And then check out the design for the tail lights. It looks like a Class A. Like when you see it from the back, it reminds you of how I would see a Class A going down the road. Like, take a look at this Riverstone. It has like that traditional fifth wheel look. And then you can see this one here. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like the front cap. Yeah, it's basically the same as the front cap. So this is like a one piece that they put on the back of the fifth wheel. Really nice design. All LED lights. And a large window out back too. Looks like you have your reverse lights down below. And then on the side of here, you do have a power reel with some storage on the side. And again, they still use those same latches, which aren't really needed for a door this size, but they still use them to basically follow the design for the rest of the rig. And it looks to be another storage area right here. And then you do have a valve in here for one of your tanks inside. You'll see that this is a rear kitchen setup. And here's a better look at those wheels and tires. This does have the easy lube hubs as well, so these are going to be easy to do maintenance on. 8 lug. Love the wheel design too. Now take note that you do have an area back here that you can dump, which is going to be for the kitchen. And then you have another area up front here. This is going to be for your bathroom. And then there's a half bath that you'll see too. They do provide a storage. This is probably a good spot for the sewer hoses. And it does provide a hold for the door. And this is going to be your wet bay. Now, I wish, and I mean this in all sincerity, I wish I had a flush for my gray tank. Well, the good news is they give you a flush for basically liquid waste and body waste. So this is going to be most likely for your shower, things like that. These are really needed. I find that the gray tank is just as dirty as the black tank does. And this does have a Truma AquaGo. So this is going to be a tankless water heater. And one thing I will say is if you do get a RV with a tankless water heater, they use a lot of propane. But they've already thought that through because they give you what looks to be 40-pound tanks for this RV. So that's really cool. And they slide out to you as well. So just the convenience and just thinking things through, like, because you're going to run through a little bit more propane, they give you bigger tanks. I like that. They do provide one of your screens on the outside for your system, so you can use this for your AC unit, things like that. So as you're hooking up, right, you don't have to go inside to turn the AC on, or maybe you're hanging out outside and you want to maybe turn the water heater off or something like that. You can do everything from the screen here, which I like. and this is just the other side of the storage area. And they have a switch here, most likely for the lights inside of here. And the last thing on this side is you do have your auto leveling system on the outside. A lot of people don't like this design, but one thing I'll say is when you are looking to hook up, this is great line of sight to the pin box when you're going to hook up to your truck. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the numbers really quickly. So this rig has 2 axles that are 9,000 pounds. That's a GAWR for this rig. You do have a gross fuel weight rating of 22,000 pounds. And the max cargo carrying capacity for this rig, so what you can add to this RV, is going to be 3,660 pounds. So all in, this rig is going to weigh 18,340 pounds the way it sits right now. So before you fill up the propane tanks, anything like that, that's what this weighs. So when you add your gear, when you add in the propane, this one already has the battery, so I'm sure they probably could figure that into the weight, I believe. You're going to really change the pin weight of this kind of rig, so you're probably going to want a dually, 100%. I have seen people tow these with single rear wheels, but a dually is definitely in your future for something like this. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go inside, but before we do that, check out the key system that they give you for this RV. They do give you a keypad, and one thing I like about this is RV keys are very flimsy and they're easy to break, so having that keypad will save you that day where you do break your key. And let's go ahead and check out this beautiful floor plan. So this is a rear kitchen. One thing I love about this fifth wheel is the roof goes straight back, so it doesn't slope down like some, like my RV, the roof slopes down, and it takes away from the size feeling inside of here. This is a wide body, so it feels huge. And something that's unique, I never thought I would like cloth seating inside of an RV, but I like the design that they chose. And one thing to take note of is this: when it's hot outside and you're hanging out in your living room, cloth seats are a lot better than leather seats in my opinion, because typically you're wearing shorts, and these are just a lot more comfortable overall. So I like that they did this as opposed to leather. And just look at the design in here, man. I love the white. White always makes it feel airy, and it makes it feel larger than it is. And then they have the darker colors on like the trim pieces in here. And a little accent, looks like some lights that come on the side. So nice attention to detail there. And they have 2 blinds. They have darkening, and then they have this regular screen if you just want to have some sunlight come through, but not darken out the RV completely. Well, let's go ahead and start out back. So as you guys can see, this does have that nicer dinette, and it looks like this does come out too, and it does have a leg on the bottom there. You do have storage and drawers, so this would be a good place to do some work at. Obviously you can eat here too. And walking back to the kitchen, they have a residential size trash can, which is nice, and it's in a perfect spot too. This is where I would expect it to be at. I do prefer it by the sink, but this is a good spot too. A lot of countertop space, so if you want to put your coffee pot up, you can do so here, or they have a small spot right down here that you can put it at as well. And residential refrigerator, when you are looking to full-time RV, this is something I wish I had. I hate gas and electric refrigerators. They're terrible, absolutely horrible. And having a residential, I don't care what the issues are with these, if there is any, this is what you want if you do plan on full-timing. Not because of the size, but because of the functionality. In a gas electric refrigerator, no matter what you do, you can do everything you're supposed to do and it still won't work right. But you do have a large freezer chest down below, so you can really grill out and have leftovers for weeks at a time if you want, and you would have enough space in here. So there's a lot of great storage spots in this RV. I would have liked to see maybe a power plug in one of these areas, because this would be a great spot for, you know, a coffee pot, or even like a Instapot maybe too. But even still, you have a lot of countertop space, and you have deep storage, and they use pretty nice cabinetry in here as well. They do have a large microwave, which is pretty much residential size. It is a convection, and yeah, there's just storage everywhere inside of here. And I just noticed too, this does have soft close. But yeah, there's just storage everywhere. I love a kitchen sink with a window, because if you are on some really nice land and you just want to do your dishes, this is when I love to do dishes, when we have this. Like, this is amazing. I like that they give you a big window here. And something that you don't see a lot in RVs, but this one has it, is a dishwasher. So if you don't like to do dishes, well, you're in luck. This does have this, and this is something I would love to have, because we don't do a lot of dishes, but this would really come in handy when you are trying to like get things done quicker. But overall, below the sink, just tons and tons of storage. This is like a house on wheels, really is. And as you can see, I didn't show this to you, but this does have the under the counter sink, so you can just wipe in water or wipe in food if you're cutting stuff up, and it's just easier to maintain as well. So this Insignia cooktop is basically similar to a residential one. I love this, and you have a large oven. So this is really like a house. Down below, you do have some storage here. And your drawers are deep, and they also soft close. Now let's just walk out here. I really like the way this looks. Looks really cool. So as I mentioned, this one did have the cloth seats, and they are very comfortable. They're really stiff, which is nice, so they'll break in once you start using them a lot. They provide a 34-inch fireplace, large television, storage above. This one does have the Whisper Quiet AC units too. So on those hot days, especially here in Idaho, this is dry heat. That will really come in handy, because you're gonna probably run those throughout the day. And this does have a sound bar. What else? I mean, you have two recliners on the side here. These actually recline too, so you can really entertain a lot of people. And this looks like it does fold out into a bed. It's not deep, but it's really useful for just storing a few things. And these are not doors here on the side. They're probably just access points. This does have a half bath. So as you walk into the RV, it's right here. You still have those tall ceilings. You have a vent fan. And this is a large toilet too. I almost thought it was like a bidet or something because it was so big. It is porcelain. And this is where your washer and dryer would be at too. I do like the sink here. This is porcelain. They do give you a vanity and some storage above the sink. And I like that they give you a window in here. Before we walk into the master, you do have a control panel to pretty much control the entire RV on things that you need, like your lights, water heater, AC, all that good stuff. And some monitors inside of here as well. And then there are some steps to walk into the master with the light on the side. It's a sensor light too. And check out how many drawers you have. They're really deep too. You could even put a coffee pot in your bedroom if you like to smell coffee in the morning, right? And they do have a power plug right here. And they do provide a 32-inch television with a DVD player right there. And check out how much space you have. Like normally when you have a king bed, it's hard to walk on each side of the bed, as you can see, but you can do it on both sides of this one. And you do have storage. This side has power plugs, and it looks like a dimmer here. And on this side, it has the power plugs and USBs. So sleep on that side of the bed. And let's see here. They do provide a vent. This is a max air vent. This is something that's good for if it's kind of warm inside of your coach, but you don't want to run the ACs and it's cooler outside. This would be good for that. You can open a window and just let air flow through. Now walking back into the bathroom, things get even more interesting. So this has like a front bath, although it does have a closet before it. But look at your shower. They have a seat, and because you have that tankless water heater, you can take a shower for as long as you want or until you run out of propane. And I like this material here. it's pretty, it's a hard surface and it looks really nice. Looks really nice, and I like that they provide a spot for your soap and things like that, and even like your rags. It's really cool. And dual sink. You have storage down below. Everything is pretty much soft close. They give you dual vanity. And check out your closet. I mean, there is so much storage in this RV, it's scary. I mean, just it goes on and on and on. I mean, it has too much storage in my opinion, but if you need to bring a lot of stuff with you, you have the space. These chairs would be for the dining area. Great closet too. And then the doors do have a glass too that you can see yourself if you're about to go out. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to give Happy Camper a look up if you are in the market for a fifth wheel. And if you would like pricing on this particular rig, be sure to call them. I will put their number here at the end because they asked me to have you guys call for pricing, and that way you guys can get the best deal possible. But be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.